Hang in there. This is the last lesson on checkbox edits for beginning Unibase. We're going to cover Added Field to Image Zone Data. And we'll use this checkbox, Output Placement, in our play format. Added Field is designed to help you out when your customer says he needs you to add a field to your format, and you've already keyed 100,000 records. You write your data out in a text format, a special one called a rescue format. It includes the job name, the file name, and the format associated with each data record. Unibase can read this file back in correctly to recreate the original batch. It's done under File Input Output Functions, menu item D, Read Standard Job Header. Okay, let's go back to our record format. And edit the checkboxes. And we'll go back to our Added Field. The cool part is that if you change the record format to include the new field and code the field to be an added field, you can instruct Unibase to open up the space for the field when you read the text back in. This is demonstrated in Advanced Unibase. Packed decimal fields are another legacy from the mainframe world. If a field is strictly numeric, it can be stored in packed decimal format on a disk and take about half the space as a field stored in character format. This format for storing numbers is still extensively used when a customer has extremely large files on a mainframe. Think the Social Security Administration or the telephone company. Not only does your customer save the cost of more disk space, but he might save time by not having to bring a different device online to access another part of a file. You don't have to know what a packed decimal field consists of to output one. AID has an edit mask that you use to output a field or a variable in that format. Other software packages can do that too. But what about the other way around? Suppose you have a customer who gives you a table that he wants you to use that has packed decimal fields. Unibase will convert the packed decimal fields into regular ASCII numeric fields when you turn them into Unibase files if you code yes on this checkbox edit, provided you get the field size correct in the record format. If none of this makes sense, don't worry about it. It's possible to do lots of data entry and never use a packed decimal field. But if you do need one, DMAC is here for you. And yes, we can explain how that format works. In a future lesson, of course. Output mask isn't implemented yet. DMAC is waiting for someone to find a use for it. But output placement is, and it's useful for beginning programmers. Here, you enter the starting position in the output record for this field. Unibase determines ending position from the field length. We'll go through our record format shortly and put those numbers in. You'll learn how they can help you when we get into programming. We're going to do nothing with image zone data in beginning Unibase. This checkbox edit is for imaging. Should you accidentally put a Y in here, or probably more out of curiosity, you're going to bring up a lot more checkboxes that you don't know what to do with yet. So do a record back, press reset to get past the error message, and delete that Y character. Let's look at our job information from the customer and code our output placement data for each field. We're going to want the name in position 31, the address in position 51. Let's see if we can remember that long enough to get it in. We're in the name field. We're going to key 51. You key this number, well, can't remember, 31. you key this number with no leading spaces or no leading zeros. The address field is 51. Let's go back and look again. The city is 6 and the state is 22. And let's see if we can remember that the zip is 1. Here's the city, position 6, state, position 22, and zip, position 1. Okay, let's look at the date field. Got a little more work to do here. The customer wants 8 positions for the date. They want slashes between the year, month, and day, and they want it in a different order than the order in which we had our operators key it. So this is going to be just a little bit trickier. Our first date is the month. That's going to go in field 74. Our second date is the day. That's going to start in field 77. And our third field is the year. That'll go in field 71. Should we code omit fields for the slashes the customer wants? Nope, we're not going to do that. Remember, I said that was inefficient. We have one omit field to show you how to use it. But you'll learn to put constants in with aid programming. It's really not hard. To continue, our gender code goes in column 25, and our emitted A goes in column 1. You need to know 2 other rules. If you leave the output placement field blank, Unibase places this field immediately after the prior field. If you put a 0, this doesn't go in column 1, does it? Nope, column 80. Let's try that once more. 80. We would have had both the letter A and the zip code starting in column 1. If you put a 0 in this output placement, then Unibase won't output this field at all. You don't have to use this feature, but when you see what it can do, when you don't screw it up, you'll have to admit it's pretty nifty.